is Erik with a K, and I wanted to share something that I'm thankful for. Now, this might sound strange to be thankful for, but part of this pandemic, my older kids got sent home from schools, and there were 6 of us, and our air conditioning went out. And I live in the desert, so it's 120 degrees, and we were without air conditioning for 23 days. Now, how could I possibly be talking about thankfulness? Well, we got this little mini portable air conditioning unit. We put sheets up over 2 of our entrances into the kitchen and the living room, and that's where we lived for 23 days. And we shared one night, what are we thankful for? And my daughter Kinsey said, I'm thankful we're stuck in this tiny 200 or 300 square foot little area for this long, because we actually get to be with each other and be in each other's business. So I was actually really thankful for that experience, as hard as it was. Now we're jumping into generosity. This is the 5th day of generosity this week, and I want to look at a passage that comes out of 1 John. It's a John 3:16 famous one, but 1 John 3:16, 17, and 18. And to give you a little context here, it's all about loving one another. And we read here, it says, we know what real love is because Jesus gave up his life for us. So we also ought to give up our lives for our brothers and sisters. If someone has enough money to live well and sees a brother or sister in need but shows no compassion, how can God's love be in that person? Dear children, let's not merely say that we love each other. Let us show the truth by our actions. That is an incredible passage. We see what Jesus has done for us, and then we see someone in need and we don't do anything about it. I mean, we're not showing compassion. How can God's love be in that person? I'm not saying we have to do something for every homeless person we pass by, right? But I do remember about 5-6 years ago, my daughter Kinsey and I were driving in my car, and we'd gone past a Carl's Jr., and there was a guy sitting outside that was likely homeless from appearances, and we pull up the light to go out, and Kinsey says, "Can we go over and talk to that guy?" I'm like, "Sure." And she's like 15 years old. So I turn around and go back, and we get out of the car, and she starts asking him some questions, and who he is and what his name is and all this stuff. And she says, "I know it's not much, but I want to give you something." And I'm thinking she's going to pull out $5 or something. But she pulls out a 20. Okay, she didn't have a job. She pulls out a 20 and gives it to this guy as we're having conversation with him, getting to know him, and then she offered to pray for him. And I'm like, what am I doing? Here, my kid, my daughter, was really teaching me God's word lived out. Let us not merely say that we love each other. Let us show the truth by our actions. She was generous. She didn't have a lot, but she was being very generous. And for me, I go, okay, God has given us so much. We know what real love is because Jesus gave up his life for us, for you and for me. So we also ought to give up our lives for others. It shouldn't be difficult to be giving people, to be generous. That's what God calls us to do. And it only takes a moment to stop and realize what Jesus has done for you and me for us to go, okay, I need to quit holding on so tightly and be generous. So I want to challenge you, I want to encourage you this weekend. Would you take some time, look around wherever you're at, and be generous? God bless you. Have a great day.